watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Live at 4. It's Friday! Tanisha, did we hear you?
Yes, it's Friday.
She's dancing. And it is beautiful outside, Blaze.
I mean, we really don't see 60s a whole lot.
What was the high temp today?
I think Madison got to about 66. Some folks out along the Wisconsin River are still near 70 right now.
Is that a record breaker for this date? I just checked my phone. It is November 14th.
Yes, it is November 14th. In the Madison area, we've gotten to 71 on this day before. But this heat is very unusual for this time of year.
Yeah.
So folks who are not, we had that little taste of winter, some snow. If you're not ready for that to return, get out and enjoy today, what's left of it, and then into tomorrow as well. If we take a look at those temperatures, I mean, they're looking at the 70s right now, or near 70, out there along the Wisconsin River. We are looking at the nice temperatures to continue as we head into the upcoming weekend, or at least to start it. So there is a look at those temperatures. 68 in Prairie du Chien. We were at 69 in Boscobel. 66 is the current temperature in Lone Rock, at 65 in the Dells. Pretty much 60s all across southern Wisconsin at this point. And we are going to get to these similar temperatures tomorrow as well. Slightly cooler because our winds are going to turn out of the northwest, but it is still going to be a very warm Saturday. It's near 70 in Cross Plains and Middleton and Sauk City right now, 64 in Sun Prairie, 65 in Stoughton. There's a current look out in Dodgeville on our Upland Hill Skycam. The sun is beginning to set, but it's still 66 degrees. Our overnight lows are going to be in the 50s overnight, and for context, we should only top out in the upper 40s. So that just paints a picture of how warm we're going to be tonight and how warm we have been today and into tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to start off cloudy. There is a chance for some rain as we go into the late morning hours. I would say further north and east, you have the better chance. We'll take a look at what lies ahead, how cool will be for Sunday, and if any rain is in the forecast, coming up in the full forecast later on at Live at 4.
All right, Blaze, thank you. We're bringing you an update today on a story that we've been following since this morning. A Fitchburg police officer was involved in a single vehicle crash early this morning in Madison. It happened just after 3 near Allied Drive and Carling Drive. Fitchburg police say the squad car was the only vehicle involved, and the officer was taken to the hospital for evaluation, but was not injured and was quickly released. The officer was in the process of responding to a call when the crash happened. Police are still investigating the cause of that crash.
One person is hurt and 2 people are in custody after a stabbing in Marshall. Police responded to Blue Spruce Lane at about 5:30 last night. Officers found a victim with stab wounds and other injuries. The victim was taken to the ER and is expected to survive. Police arrested 2 suspects. One is facing tentative charges of attempted first-degree intentional homicide. The other tentatively charged with attempted first-degree intentional homicide as a party to a crime.
Dane County's money problems are not over.
The county executive signed the 2026 budget this week, a budget which was facing a $31 million structural deficit. As Ellie LaLiberte shows us, that deficit is likely to carry over. Ellie?
Well, Dane County Executive Melissa Agard tells me she's concerned about the 2027 budget. She says there will likely be a shortfall of roughly $30 million. Now, Agard emphasized this is a structural deficit that has been carried over for many years before her election to the role. Now, to address the deficit, she says she's announced a hiring freeze, and the county will also be conducting a space and utilization study to eliminate waste. Overall, she says she looks to cut costs in a, quote, more thoughtful way.
In April, announced to my department heads that they needed to slow down hiring. I announced to them that I was expecting them to put together their proposals to me with a minimum of a 4% cut, thinking that if we really tightened our belts and did that work this year, that next year we could go at this in a little bit more thoughtful way, with this more of a scalpel rather than the sledgehammer.
Now, Agard also says that she will be announcing community listening sessions throughout the county to address the shortfall.
What does that mean exactly? She wants to address this with a scalpel and not a sledgehammer.
Yeah, she said, well, because this budget, they requested the departments to do a 4% cut kind of county-wide. So she said that was kind of a sledgehammer. Now she's really hoping to come in and move things around and be really intentional and innovative with how they're looking to address this problem.
Yeah, looking ahead then to 2027, what are some of the specific challenges the county's facing then?
Yeah, when she announced that she had signed the 2026 budget, she put out a list, so I have a couple of these here, which was cost to continue services as is will increase by $10 million. Contracts and costs for utilities and IT services are set to increase. There'll be less surplus available for the 2027 budget.
And the conversation about this is going to continue this weekend.
Yeah, that's correct. Well, we've heard a lot from the Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett about this, about concerns he has if he doesn't have the staff he needs to open the county jail in 2027. You can hear the conversation that Agar said she's having with the sheriff this Sunday morning at 10:30 on For the Record.
We will see you Sunday. Ellie, thank you. Well, right now, the state of Wisconsin does not have a standard for pesticides in the water. State agencies are trying to change that with research.
Our Tanasia Shaw is covering how this can impact you. And Tanasia, this standard could give us a little more insight into possible health issues, huh?
Yes. Hi, Susan and Brady. Since the state of Wisconsin does not have a standard for pesticides in water, we do not know how pesticides are or are not impacting our health. The Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection, better known as DATCP, and the Department of Natural Resources are working together to find out what pesticides are in waterways in Wisconsin. Without a standard, it's hard to expand research to see how harmful the pesticides are. A standard being set will be beneficial for everyone. Urban areas tend to use filtered surface water. However, more rural areas may have never been tested for pesticides in the first place, making this a crucial step for those who have private water wells.
Private well owners that are located nearby farm fields where pesticides are applied might be more vulnerable to groundwater contamination.
So making sure that our groundwater is clean and safe for all of us to consume is really the primary focus. And to that end, we don't have groundwater standards for a number of the main the pesticides that we are finding in drinking water.
Yeah, and this standard will likely take a few years to be set in place. And in the meantime, if you have a private water well, you can get yours tested. Both the DNR and Clean Wisconsin told me that this process is very expensive, but it's also very important. And I will have more tonight at 6. Susan and Brady, I'm going to send it back to you for now.
We'll see you then. Thank you, Tanasia. Oh, don't let the weather fool you. This holiday season is right around the corner, so why not celebrate a little early? Tomorrow you can stop by the Olin Park Lights. This is the 37th year the free lights are dazzling drivers. They turn on at dusk every night for the next 6 weeks. You can also grab a candy cane from 4:30 to 10 p.m. every night. That sounds pretty good, huh?
It does. You can wear your shorts or roll the windows down.
The best kind of holiday. Yeah. Well, next on Live at 4, we're sitting down with our very own Sarah Carlson to talk about her journey with epilepsy during this Epilepsy Awareness Month.
And Josh Spreiter is in the 608 as the Goodman Community Center kicks off its Thanksgiving Basket Drive.
And if you can't get enough of the holiday lights, we're taking a look at the Million Synchronized Lights display in Beloit.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
In the 608, we're gearing up to start collecting food for our Thanksgiving basket drive this weekend.
Josh Spreiter was at the Goodman Community Center this morning with a little surprise ahead of getting the donations period off and running.
Tomorrow is the day we have been waiting for. The donations period for our Goodman Turkey Drive will officially begin. And we're outside of the food pantry learning how you can help this morning. Florence Edwards Miller is joining us. Florence, good to see you.
Thank you so much for being here. It's exciting.
You know, this is such an exciting time and an important time for the community to come out and give.
Yeah, it's amazing. In just, oh my gosh, only a little bit over a week, we are going to be giving 4,000 families all of the groceries they need to make their own Thanksgiving Thanksgiving dinner at home, but it's only possible with the support of our community.
4,000 baskets, that's what, 25,000 people is what you're guesstimating.
Yeah, because people come together. We get, 8, 10, 5 people each with a family coming together. People invite their neighbors over. People just connect with one another like you're supposed to do at Thanksgiving time.
And as I mentioned, the donations period begins tomorrow, so that's like physical donations like this.
Yes, there's 2 different ways to give. We are asking the community to donate all the fixings, all the non-perishable things, and of course the frozen turkeys. So that's going to be things like the stuffing, the mac and cheese, the broth, oil, canned vegetables, the gravy, cranberry sauce, all of those things that are non-perishable, or the frozen turkeys that we can pop in a freezer. Go to your grocery store, and then you can bring that over starting this Saturday at 12.
So 37 years of the Goodman Turkey Drive. News 3 Now is a proud partner. We have a little surprise for you this morning.
Oh my gosh.
I want to bring in our general manager, Scott Chastain. Scott, good to see you. Welcome to In the 608.
Absolutely. No, it's great to be on the morning show.
What do you have right here?
Well, to help kick everything off tomorrow, we from WISC and News 3 Now, we wanted to kick everything off with a $1,500 donation to the Goodman Center.
Oh my
what
gosh.
You guys do. So.
Okay. Thank you so much. This is such a help. In addition to the food, the funds that y'all and the community give, they go to buy things like the non-perishable stuff, the milk, the eggs, the butter, and of course filling in any gaps that come in. So this matters so much. Thank you. We could not do this without the support of you all and other businesses and other people in the community who really care, and they care about everyone in our community having food and having a happy Thanksgiving.
This is such a special opportunity for us, but it also goes to show just how much this community steps up and how far even, the funds can go.
Yes, it really does. I mean, this is a great way to show support. Food insecurity is such a huge problem in this community, but it's something that we can do something about. It's something y'all are doing things about. It's something that all of your viewers can do something about. Giving every bit matters, every dollar matters, and this big check matters a lot.
Awesome. We're proud to partner with you, absolutely. And we're looking forward to seeing how much money we can raise. So hopefully this gets it off to a great start.
Yeah, it really helps. We are so thankful for this.
Awesome. Well, Florence, Scott, thank you so much. If you'd like to help us with the Thanksgiving basket drive, you can go to the story up on channel3000.com. In Madison, I'm Josh Breiter, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Josh and Scott and Florence. We're so proud to help. Here's what's needed for the Thanksgiving drive this year. They registered 4,000 families, as you may know, in record time. That represents more than 25,000 residents in Dane County, and including over 10,000 children. Again, you have from tomorrow through next Friday, November 21st, to donate the food.
Very good. Well, we may be looking at some colder temperatures down the line, but today and tomorrow, it's gorgeous out, Blaze.
And that's right. We are in the 60s, some of us flirting with the 70s at this hour. Today will be in the 60s tomorrow, a little bit cooler, but not as cold as where we will be, say, Sunday and then further into next week. We're going to get back to normal, back into the mid-40s. That's where we should be for this time of year. Don't let these next couple of days fool you, especially today and tomorrow. We are not supposed to be in the 60s. We will be in the 40s as we go into next week. These are overnight lows tonight, the 50s. We should only bottom out in the upper 20s. So not only is this much warmer than our overnight lows for this time of year, it's much warmer than our average daytime highs this time of year. But to get to these warmer than normal temperatures, we have to start off warmer than normal, which is why we'll only settle into those 50s tonight. Underneath mostly cloudy conditions, those clouds are going to start to move on in ahead of that chance for some rain through, I would say, the late morning hours on Saturday. But then we quickly clear on out. Winds will be breezy out of the northwest, somewhat gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles per hour. But they're going to kick all that cloud cover out by the time we head into the afternoon, which again will allow us to get back into those 50s and those low 60s. The cold front passes tomorrow, but we don't feel the cold air until we go into Sunday. So compared to where we should be for this time of year, we're looking at forecast highs not only today, but into tomorrow, 15 to 20, 25 degrees above average. All this is because a low pressure system is off to our north. It's pulling that air out of the south and west. There's that cold front passing, but by the time we go into the early afternoon hours, we are sitting underneath those clear skies for Saturday. Breezy though, winds out of the northwest. So any outdoor activities tomorrow, I would push them off into the afternoon. and just know that it will be breezy. If you're heading down to Bloomington to cheer on the Badgers tomorrow, they're expecting kind of similar conditions, probably going to be warm, looking at some breezy conditions out of the northwest as we go Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday, high pressure moves on in. This is going to bring down that cooler air, but we are still sunny and we are still breezy. We're back into the 40s as we head into Sunday, and that's where we'll stay through the rest of the extended forecast. Again, this is where we should be for this time of year, not the 60s. So if you're not a fan of the 40s, you've got one more day, and then we cool on down. But in terms of if we're eyeing a big cool down, that's not in the forecast. In fact, we're looking to stay above average even as we get closer to the end of November. This could be by degree, several degrees, but we're not eyeing any big polar vortex, big cool downs here as we get towards the end of November. And for some folks, maybe that's some good news. For others, maybe they want it to finally feel like winter. We had a taste of it. We'll be back to maybe kind of just a little taste here and there throughout next week, a couple rain chances, and we'll talk about potential rain totals and how we really need this rain next week coming up later on in Live at 4.
Thank you, Blaze. I did see a couple of boats on Lake Mendota today. They are definitely soaking it up. In sports news, the Packers injury list is growing.
Our Jason Wilde reports from Lambeau Field.
The Packers head east to face the New York Giants on Sunday with 4 players on their injury report. 1 who has been ruled out, cornerback Nate Hobbs with a knee injury. 3 who are questionable. Rookie wide receivers Matthew Golden with a shoulder issue, Savion Williams with a foot injury, and Lucas Van Ness, the defensive end and defensive tackle who has missed the last 4 games with a foot injury he suffered against the Cincinnati Bengals, sacking Joe Flacco. That was his final play. He's missed the 4 games since, but he had some light practices on Thursday and again on Friday, and Matt LaFleur isn't ruling him out, listing him as questionable as well.
He's been doing things in the return to play process. Yeah, certainly you'd like to have more practices under his belt, but if he feels like he can go, then we'll put him out there.
I talked to Lucas Van Ness for a while this afternoon, and he is hopeful that despite limited practice time, he is ready and healthy enough and mentally ready to get back out on the field. We'll see if he's ready for the Giants, who have their own injury problems, which are much more severe. 4 players ruled out, including starting quarterback Jackson Dart, which means that Jameis Winston will get the start against the Packers. We'll have full coverage of everything leading into the game and of the game itself on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our Packers newsletter, which delivers our coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Thank you, Jason. A reminder, the Milwaukee Bucks are returning to WISC TV this weekend. Morgan Murphy Media is once again teaming up with Weigel Broadcasting to give Bucks games to fans in Madison. The first free game to watch is tomorrow when the Bucks take on the LA Lakers. Coverage begins at 7 p.m.
Coming up on Live at 4, we're talking with our Sarah Carlson about Epilepsy Awareness Month and her journey with the condition.
And a group of high school students are working together to make sure their fellow classmates have access to courses on financial literacy. We'll be right back. Let's check stocks to end the work week. The numbers on Wall Street, the Dow dropped 309 points, but that's better than yesterday's big sell-off. The Nasdaq was up 30 and the S&P 500 lost just 3 points.
1 in 26. That's the number of people who will be diagnosed with epilepsy just this year.
The diagnosis can be all-consuming, and no one knows that better than our very own Sarah Carlson. She wanted to share her story during this Epilepsy Awareness Week, and she's been a fierce advocate now to pay it forward for other people. Welcome, Sarah. Thank you for doing this.
And thank you for wearing your purple.
Yeah, we're all purpled out. So
Right.
you were first diagnosed. Take us back. With epilepsy in 2008.
Right, in 2008, I just felt funny. So my seizures were minor, simple, partial, sounds pretty simple, and I wasn't having the kind that people consider their tonic-clonic or grand mal aware. You see them in TV shows and in movies where people are falling over and convulsing. But we couldn't find a cause, and it was doing a lot of damage. So I ended up having to try medication, none of them worked. We wanted to play a short video too right now of the seizure that I had when I was right here at Channel 3 with you, Susan.
Wisconsin has officially joined 25 other states in a lawsuit against President Obama's health care reform law. Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen says Wisconsin is the latest state, including Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Ohio, and Wyoming, to join Florida's suit. The states claiming The Exorcist, Saw Untusracho, and Palais Bringritz by health urgent. President Obama will head to...
Can I just say, that was the first time I had ever seen a seizure. You handled it much more gracefully than I did. But it was a very big day because we all learned a lot that day.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and watching that video, what's it like watching it? Is it hard? Does it bring back memories of that day?
It's interesting. You can tell when I start speaking a bit of what I would call gibberish. I don't remember that part, but I do remember just before that happened, that sinking feeling of, oh no, this isn't just going to be the kind where I'm able to continue. So, and as a memory, long term, I know that was a moment in life that changed a lot because my seizures worsened. But I do encourage people to watch that video because I don't want people to be ashamed of the disability. And I'd become such an advocate at the time. And it went viral, and some people were saying bad things, and some people were saying good for you for being back on TV 3 days later. I wanted people to be able to see what that might look like, and they're all so different. There are so many different kinds.
That was very brave of you, and as I said, it really taught a lot of people a lot of things. Explain your diagnosis a little bit. Is all epilepsy the same?
Right, and I started getting to that before the video. I didn't mean to start there so quickly, but mine is one of dozens of different kinds of seizures, which is, a lot of people don't know. Again, they always think of the bigger ones, so to speak, and that's part of the problem, I think, too. It's so common. 1 in 26 people will be diagnosed in their lifetime. Everyone knows someone. That's the amazing part. So we tried medications, nothing would work. We found a brain tumor. But that was before that video clip that you just saw. We removed the brain tumor, things were going well, but finally I had to make some changes. So that's, I think, the next question that you might have. Why did I have to stop? That's maybe one of the hardest things that ever happened to me.
To have to leave news.
To have to leave news. I want to always make it clear, and I tell everybody, on TV or not, that the station was more than supportive. It was my doctor. It was doctor's orders. My seizures were worsening, and they wanted me to have a lower stress, maybe not lower stress, but a slower paced job, I would like to say. It's not that this is super stressful, but it's higher pace and live TV. So I would have that stress in the back of my mind. Could that happen to me again? And that wasn't good for me.
Well, we're glad that you're back. And how are you doing now?
That's a really good question. Thank you. And I'm doing wonderfully. I spent 12 years with seizures, the worst years of my life, mostly because I had epilepsy strip me from my career, but it was also very depressing. I was on disability. I lost my driver's license. I had so many other issues that I struggled with emotionally that I hope people with epilepsy know they're not alone.
Well, that's the most amazing thing about all of this is people see you today, and it's going to give so many people so much hope that everything will be okay. You ran, what, 5 Chicago marathons while you were in recovery?
I did.
I mean, and I guess the main question of all of this is, what is your advice to other people who are watching tonight?
Well, no matter how cheesy it sounds, honestly, and I do work as an advocate for this reason, is to not give up hope and to really push your doctors and caregivers. If you aren't happy with the care you have or the medicine you're taking, be sure to ask a lot of questions. And here I am, seizure-free 5 years, but I have epilepsy. I take a lot of medication. It could come back, but that's okay too. You know, you have to keep on fighting. And also, I'm going to be working very hard to raise awareness and fundraise for the cause. It means a lot.
Very important. Thank you for all that you do, and we'll be talking, well, you'll be coming up later on in the show.
I'll be talking to the executive director of the Epilepsy Foundation in another half hour or so.
We're looking forward to that.
Thank you both.
Thank you, Sarah. Coming up on Live at 4, a data center company is hosting an informational session in an area community. It's been a very big story for a couple weeks. We'll tell you where, when, and what to expect.
And then if you live in an apartment or you don't have a yard to make a garden, Madison is looking into options to give you a chance to see if you have a green thumb.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
We're bringing you an update to a story we've been following since this morning. A Fitchburg police officer was involved in a single vehicle crash early this morning in Madison. This happened just after 3 near Allied Drive and Carling Drive. Fitchburg police say the squad car was the only vehicle involved, and the officer was taken to the hospital for evaluation, but they weren't injured and quickly released. The officer was in the process of responding to a call for service when the crash happened. Police are still investigating what caused the crash. The National Data Center Company, QTS, will be presenting plans for a data center in DeForest on Tuesday. The meeting will be held at DeForest Area High School, and organizers emphasize it will be informational only with no votes taken. Village officials say any development would require months of public review and a publicly approved pre-annexation agreement before moving forward. That meeting starts at 6. And we've been talking about the weather today, and a lot of people have been enjoying it. Let's see what they have to say about it.
So obviously the weather is gorgeous today. It's super nice, especially after all of the snow that we've been having. But just really nice to get outside and go on a walk.
Just relaxing in the nice sun. It's almost surreal.
It was just such a gorgeous day. We couldn't pass it up and spend a few moments just enjoying the beauty.
This is totally a blessing to be able to be outside in November in shorts.
Thriving. They are the best day.
I love it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they pretty much summarize kind of this day and what tomorrow will be like, which is just this unseasonable warmth. Get out there and enjoy it while you can. We're still near 70 right now. Lone Rock, Boscobel, Prairie du Chien coming in at 67 degrees, 64 in Madison, down from 66 earlier this afternoon, 59 in Juneau. Winds are out of the southwest, and that's the reason why we were able to get to these warm temperatures. We're down from near 70 in Middleton and Cross Plains at this moment, back into those low to mid 60s, but considering we should only top out around 49 degrees, I don't think 68 versus 64 is going to really upset anybody out there. It is a very pleasant afternoon. Winds are going to remain light today, but they will pick up in speed as we go into Saturday. So you can still get outdoors and enjoy the nice weather. It will be more sunny as the day goes on. That rain chance wrapping up in the morning hours. Sunday, we flip kind of our numbers around. We go from the 60s to the 40s. Winds are still going to be out of the northwest, still breezy at times. We're back to more normal temperatures, but we will remain sunny. We talked about the temperature trend. We're going to be staying in the 40s all next week. Is there any rain or, now that we're going to be cooling on down, any snow in the forecast? We'll take a look coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Blaze, thank you. 2 students at Verona High School are doing what they can to teach the juniors and seniors at the school about financial literacy. Back in December of 2023, Governor Evers signed Act 60. It's a bill requiring 2028 and later graduates to take a half credit of financial literacy courses before graduation from high school. Seniors Grayson Palmbach and Kendall Schaefer are members of Verona's DECA chapter, and in collaboration with their advisor, they created a reality check, a simulation for upperclassmen to work with community volunteers to talk about and determine the right financial choices they'll have to make as an adult.
Our reality check here is to give students a better understanding of what their financial life could look like in the future.
This is just so that they don't get caught off guard when they become an adult and they have to pay for themselves.
The 2 put together an app for students to use for the simulation that they'll be presenting at DECA's state competition in February.
Oh, way to go, everyone. Well, as city officials look for new ways to put healthy and affordable food on people's tables, they often turn to local growers for help.
Earlier this week, the city launched a survey to gauge interest from growers and farmers to help boost local food production. Our Maren Rosen visited the Badger Rock neighborhood, the neighborhood center there, to see how this initiative could take root.
As you can see, growing season has come to an end, and the City of Madison is looking to see how community gardens, just like this one, can be used in the future to help more Madison families.
We as the city, we're always looking for ways to improve the lives of the people that live here, no matter what's going on.
The survey asks local growers about their interest and capacity to help produce more food right here in Madison.
It's a shared experience going, to the grocery store and sometimes having to make difficult choices on what you can buy for your family, your kids, and what you can't. We really want to step in and try to fill that gap.
The city has planted the seeds for production expansion and says it could be as simple as helping people grow new gardens or finding new ways to distribute what's already been grown.
If we as a city can take advantage of the property that we already own and purpose it in a way to help address those food insecurity and affordability concerns, I think that's a great route to take.
Local growers like Nicholas Leet say the survey is important because even small gardens can make a big difference.
You can have a 10 by 10 foot plot and grow a decent amount of greens. You can grow a decent amount of, healthy vegetables throughout the year that you might not otherwise have access to. I really like the idea of community gardens as a space where people can come together, often people that wouldn't otherwise be interacting with each other.
Anything that we as the city can do to really, help folks find more food, and healthy food being the key too, we're gonna explore every avenue.
The survey will stay open for ideas and feedback from community members until December 22nd. Reporting in Madison, I'm Maren Rosen, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Maren. Look at her in the garden in short sleeves. What a day to do that story. The Goodman Community Center Thanksgiving Basket Drive starts tomorrow. And as we've been talking about all week, the Goodman Center could really use all of our help this year. They're looking for food and money to fill 4,000 Thanksgiving baskets. News 3 is once again a proud partner. You can start donating online right now at goodmancenter.org/donate. Well, next on Live at 4, we continue our conversation about National Epilepsy Month with the executive director of the Epilepsy Foundation of Wisconsin.
And we go to Beloit for this show-stopping light display. We look at how the SkyCarp light setup is hitting this year right out of the park.
We're taking a live look right now. It's beautiful at Spokane, Washington's Riverfront Park. The weather there is 54 and mostly cloudy. I think it's better here. The city's name comes from the Spokane tribe, meaning children of the sun. A fun fact, Father's Day was started in Spokane back in 1910 by resident Sonora Smart Dodd. It's quite the name, too. Well, as we mentioned earlier in the show, November is Epilepsy Awareness Month. 1 in 26 people will develop epilepsy in their lifetime. And today we have Allison McCartan here joining us, the new executive director of the Epilepsy Foundation of Wisconsin. Thank you so much for being here, and congrats on your new role.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for having us, especially November, Epilepsy Awareness Month.
And that's why
Great
we're in
timing.
purple. So let's talk about that 1 in 26 number. We use it a lot.
We do.
I should say we, but there's a lot more depth, especially here in Wisconsin.
Sure. So 1 in 26 is the number we use of people diagnosed throughout their lifetime with epilepsy.
Yeah.
1 in 10 have a seizure, and they estimate about 100,000 people across the state of Wisconsin have epilepsy. That's about 1 to 2% of the entire population.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
And it's a lot of kids.
There's a lot of kids. Unfortunately, we feel like the prevalence is a lot. It's the 4th most common neurological disorder, right behind migraine, stroke, and Alzheimer's, yet it doesn't get the research and the attention it deserves. So thank you for the opportunity today.
Of course. Now, one of the other things I know that we've talked about a lot privately is the stigma. I didn't get to talk about that privately earlier, but talk about that stigma behind epilepsy and what goes on there for folks.
Yeah, unfortunately with epilepsy, we feel like there is a stigma associated with it. We hear that from our clients living with epilepsy and their caregivers. And what the foundation likes to do is try to turn a negative into a positive. And we're really focusing on education. We believe if we can reduce the fear of epilepsy through education, that we're also in turn reducing the stigma attached to it.
And education, like things in schools. I mean,
correct.
Seizure first aid. If students and teachers know it, they're not afraid of it, or they don't think that it's strange when they see something happen. And so many different kinds of epilepsy too.
Sure. Another misconception, Sarah, which you were so grateful to share your experience with and show your actual seizure on the news, is people think that there's only the tonic-clonic, the old name, the grand mal seizure, where someone loses consciousness and drops to the ground and continues to shake. But there is a whole array of seizures from picking at your shirt or blinking or staring, and I think that we can be more eloquent in how we understand epilepsy and its diagnosis by understanding that seizures impact people differently depending on what part of the brain they're coming from.
Right, and we need to be inclusive and understanding. We want to talk about the Epilepsy Foundation now. We're so happy to have you filling the role of leader. What is the foundation doing to try to reach out to these people?
Sure. As you mentioned, we're doing a lot of seizure first aid. We're getting into schools. We're getting into law enforcement. We're getting into businesses and civic organizations. And again, in the hopes of reducing the stigma and making sure people know what to do if they witness a seizure, of keeping those individuals safe. We also have a camp for children with epilepsy, a week-long overnight camp for some of those kids. Due to their medication regimen, they may not be able to attend a more traditional camp type setting. So we're thrilled we're able to offer that. We have an adult retreat as well, again, taking control of your diagnosis. We also have our support. We have a support group. We have a few different support groups, some virtual, some in person. We have walks, a celebration of people with epilepsy. There's a lot of times that there's dark days in a diagnosis, and we're bringing people together to celebrate their loved ones through our walks. And then finally, tomorrow, we're hosting an educational conference. We have top neurologists specializing in epilepsy, epileptologists that are going to speak to the epilepsy community, their caregivers, about current treatment options, whether it be diet or surgery or new medications on the market, and then just an opportunity for a question and answer session.
And I know that educational conference is tomorrow here in Madison, and I know I've been to it, and a lot of people, there's the graphic right there. It's not too late to register, and people connect and meet each other and go, oh, I'm not the only one that feels this way, and learning so much and hearing from the top doctors in the area, and we have such phenomenal professionals here.
Absolutely. And I think that is something that the foundation really takes a strong role in our mission of making sure there is connection, that nobody feels alone in their diagnosis.
And I can say too, and you weren't here when it happened to me in Wisconsin, but when I was first diagnosed, the foundation made a big difference in my life. I needed to reach out. I needed somebody to be on my team. So thank you for what you do. And Allison from the Epilepsy Foundation of Wisconsin. Appreciate you being here. And when we come back, Blaze will have a final check for the forecast with a cool down on the way. And then Brady and Susan will show us how a Beloit baseball stadium is making their Christmas light display a home run.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
The Beloit Skycarp are lighting up ABC Supply Stadium starting tonight with the debut of Home Run Holiday Lights.
The new attraction brings 50 nights of holiday magic. It will run through January 4th, and it features more than 1 million synchronized lights, walk-through displays on the field, a holiday train ride. There are craft stations, a couple of cozy fire pits, and rentable infield igloos. I love that. The event runs 7 nights a week from 5 to 10, except on Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. The tickets and holiday party bookings are available now at skycarp.com.
That's beautiful. 1 million lights, is that what it?
I think that's a live at 4 on location. We might need, especially since it's dark by 4:30.
I was gonna say, yeah, I've seen all the memes coming out where it's like people holding like a lantern in pitch black when the time hits 5 o'clock.
But I've thought to myself all week, this would be the weekend to put your outdoor lights up if you want to do that.
1 million of them.
Yes, because Saturday and Sunday are expected to be dry. Sunday will be a little bit cooler. Saturday, we're still in those 60s. But is there any rain, or now that we'll be cooling down next week, any snow? Because we really need it. Since August 31st, we've only picked up about 2.66 inches of rain in the Madison area. When looking at the same time length from August 31st through today's date, over the last 155 years, this is what we typically average, near 7 inches of rain, and we clearly have not gotten that. So is there any rain in the forecast? Because we really do need it. The first chance is going to be there going into Saturday morning, but I would say further north and east, you're going to have the better chance. Folks across southern Wisconsin, probably even south of the Dells, probably won't see any of that light rain as we go into Saturday, and then the rest of the weekend, Saturday onward into Sunday, we are going to be dry because a high pressure system moves on in. We will see another chance for some rain as we go Monday night into Tuesday. This could also be a light mix based on our overnight lows, but it's not looking like it's going to be that impressive heavy rain or heavy mix. That holds off until later next week. A larger system comes out of the south, and those are the ones that really pack the moisture. And as we get further into winter, the ones that really bring us that heavy snow. So what we've seen, even from noon to earlier this afternoon, is a nice shift of blue moving back up into southern Wisconsin. That blue is about 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of rain over the next 7 days. Based on the current path, I would say southeastern Wisconsin has the best chance to pick up the heaviest rain. But that later next week system could really bring us some much needed beneficial rain. Is it going to completely eliminate the drought? Absolutely not. But it will help it stop expanding. And there is some good news as we get closer to the end of November with this warmer than average temperature trend. We see an uptick in rain chances. We're looking at about a 50 to 60% chance of being wetter than normal from the 20th through the 24th. And it comes at a time when over the last 2 weeks, most of Wisconsin, this red right here, has only picked up between 2 to 5% of their normal rainfall over the last 14 days. That is an incredibly lackluster amount of rain. And then once we get into this lighter red here, that's between 5 to 25%. So we really haven't even picked up basically anything. So we do need this rain, and thankfully it comes as we go into next week and as our ground is still able to soak in that rain. So we'll keep an eye on that, but in the meantime, we are not looking at any heavy rain with our next real rain chance probably Monday night into Tuesday. Stay with Live at 4. We got a preview of what to expect for News at 5 coming up after the break.
On Monday's Live at 4, Alex is helping us stay winter ready heading into Winter Weather Awareness Week. And I'm talking with a Sun Prairie man about the underlying dangers of diabetes, and we'll show you what he did to save his vision. And later on News 3 Now at 5, the United States is tightening its rhetoric against Venezuela. We'll hear about new chances of military action. Thanks for watching Live at 4 today. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000 Plus, News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.